Over the years, many tales have been told about locomotives and their railways. Stories ranging from the Big Four, British Railways, the Modernisation Plan, and even the Beeching Axe. As time goes on, they are told by generations both young and old. But my stories have never been told until now. For these are my steam railway stories.
Erlestoke Manor sat in the shed at Eversley Colliery, thinking about what she had done. Her accident with the coal trucks had caused a lot of trouble, and Mr. Harris had told her to stay in the shed. As she looked around the yard, she thought long and hard about what her driver said. Erlestoke was just thinking about what she had done when her driver, fireman, and the foreman came over to see her, who were then followed by Dom. Mr. Harris climbed down from Dom's cab and came over to join the three men and engine. "Now then, Erlestoke, I think it's time we had a talk about what happened. There is a big order of coal that needs to be delivered to Apple Green Junction. The order was so big it needed all the engines to help out, but they have been struggling to handle the job on their own all week. We needed help, and Dom said you could help us. I thought it was a good idea, and so did your owners."
"We agree too, but your grumpy and self-centered behaviour caused a lot of trouble. And you didn't slow down when I told you to."
This order's likely not going to get done in time, but it's important we meet the deadline and finish on time. And that's where we need you, Erlestoke. You are stronger than the little engines. That makes you the perfect engine for the job.
Come on, Erlestoke. We need to get this job finished and completed before the end of the day. But in order to complete this, we need to work together and focus on the job.
Please, Erlestoke. I know you don't like work that involves trucks, but we need you.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm just not used to pulling trucks. I'm more of a passenger engine, and the thought of pulling trucks makes me feel uncomfortable and damaging to my image.
Handling trucks is just as important as pulling passengers, and even if you don't want to do the job, it still has to be done.
The sooner we finish the job, the better. Then you can go back home. You don't want the trust to be cross with you, do you?
Erlestoke listened to this and thought about her behaviour towards the resident engines. She really didn't want to pull trucks, but realised that unless the job was completed, she wouldn't be allowed to go back home.
Very well, sirs. If it means a lot to you and your railway, I'll finish the job.
Thank you, Erlestoke. Now, can you please take the next train to the junction?
Yes, sir.
On their way, Erlestoke was puffing along nicely, and her crew were trying to make up for lost time. But this time, Erlestoke kept to a reasonable speed. By the time they reached the junction, the train was late, but had arrived safely. The trucks were uncoupled, and Erlestoke went to take on more water. As she was being filled up, Pav puffed up alongside her.
You were pretty foolish not slowing down and causing that accident up the line. Did you have any idea how much trouble you caused?
No, I didn't at first. But after spending time in the shed, I had time to think about it.
Well, I think you need to do some more thinking, because the others are still not happy with you. If you want to sort things out with everyone, I suggest you think long and hard about how you're going to put things right. Maybe turning over a new leaf might be an idea.
And Pav went back to work, leaving Erlestoke feeling puzzled. When she arrived back at the colliery, Erlestoke couldn't get what Pav said out of her mind.
Turning over a new leaf might be an idea. What does that mean?
It means making a change in yourself. It could be making a fresh start, or changing one's conduct, or attitude.
What good would turning a new leaf do for me?
Maybe you could turn a new leaf by changing your attitude towards the other engines.
Me? Change my attitude? My attitude isn't that bad. Is it?
If you came up here more often, you may get some enjoyment out of your trips.
No, thank you. I think I'll stick to my own rails, thank you very much.
Alice may be smaller than her bigger predecessors, but she's still a steam engine like you and me.
More likely her shyness will not only cause trouble, but a big embarrassment to the whole railway. With you helping us out, we can get this delivery done in double time.
I will not be part of this big delivery. That's your job, and not my problem.
I once knew an engine who in some way was like you, but just as disgusting.
Am I really a mean engine? I mean, I know I can be rather stern and perfectionary, but am I really self-centered? But I don't want to leave you here and everyone else. It just isn't fair that I got preserved and you haven't.
Erlestoke Manor, listen to me. Some of our class were withdrawn and scrapped before me, and those that have been saved probably feel the same way as you do. It isn't really anything new. But promise me this, Erlestoke. Don't take being preserved for granted. Just be happy that you are being taken care of and do the Great Western Manors proud.
I will, Dunley Manor. I promise. But I didn't keep that promise. I did the exact opposite. I didn't deserve to be saved. I don't deserve to pull rail tours. And I definitely can't call myself a Great Western Manor. I'm nothing but a stupid, self-centered, cold-hearted bitch!
Erlestoke?
Huh? What are you still doing here, Hunslet? I suppose you've come to mock me, haven't you?
No, actually. I've come to help you.
Help me? Why?
I felt bad for leaving you here on your own to shunt and arrange the trucks, so I asked Mr. Harris if I could give you a helping buffer. Plus, you can't really use the turntable here, and travelling backwards isn't really ideal for you. But going back to my previous question, what's the matter? I couldn't help but hear you monologuing about something.
Oh, that. I feel absolutely awful about the way I've become.
What do you mean?
Ever since I was preserved, I only cared about myself, forgot about the rest of my class, and acted like a complete and selfish ashpan towards you and everyone else. And after all that, why would you want to help me?
Because it's the right thing to do. Not gonna lie, I've done some pretty stupid things in my time, like losing my temper with passengers and trying to take longer trains with worn brakes as a result of taking some comments to heart a little too much. And I also thought you could do with a friend.
Really?
Yeah, and to tell the truth, I do kinda admire you.
Give over.
No, I do mean it, really I do. I know I tease you about your self-centeredness and how much of a fool you can make yourself. Then again, teasing is kind of an industrial engine's nature. But when it all boils down to it, you do want to please those enthusiasts, and they do love an engine who takes care of them and makes them happy.
Yes, I suppose they do.
And with you helping us, I bet they'll be even happier. So what do you say, Erlestoke Manor?
I say, let's do it.
So it was arranged. Don helped Erlestoke some trucks under the hopper, and arranged them for the next train. Once again, coal dust flew everywhere. But this time, Erlestoke didn't mind. All that mattered right now was finishing the job on time and proving to the Forest Night engines she was sorry.
I'll get the next lot ready for you.
Okay, Dom. I'll be back as soon as I can. How can I turn over a new leaf? That's impossible for me to do. Oh!
There, in front of her, was Sadie. She had stopped on the bridge with her passenger train.
What's going on here?
If you must know, I have run out of water. I forgot to fill up earlier, now I'm stuck. If you want to say to me, that's not my problem, then go right ahead.
Erlestoke looked at the passengers and saw that they were worried. If they didn't get to the junction, then they would miss their connection. Erlestoke knew the situation and felt sorry for Sadie. Then she had an idea.
Erlestoke? What are you doing?
I'm going to push you to the junction.
Push my train and pull your own? Are you sure you can do that?
I'll give it a jolly good try.
I'm moving! I'm moving!
We'll get there, Sadie. I promise you that.
Clouds of smoke and steam shot into the air as Erlestoke pushed Sadie and her train off the bridge. Sadie was very amazed with what was going on. She never expected Erlestoke to do this at all.
Well done, girl, that's the way to do it.
Come on! Come on! Keep moving!
We're almost there! We're almost there!
Erlestoke gave one final puff, and at last the cavalcade rolled into Apple Green Junction.
Thank you, Erlestoke. That was amazing.
You did it! You're our hero! Thank you, Erlestoke!
Hearing the passengers cheering made Erlestoke feel much better. She hadn't any breath to say anything, so she gave a toot of her whistle. I heard all about your rescue, Erlestoke, and I am very impressed with what you did today. You have shown me that you are a very useful engine, and it seems you have managed to learn how to handle coal tracks.
Yes, sir. I have. I have something I would like to say to you and your engine, sir. Forest Light engines, I'm sorry I caused you so much trouble with my accident, and I'm sorry I was grumpy and such a pain to all of you. I hope your passengers got to their train safely, Sadie.
They sure did, thanks to you, Erlestoke. You're such a strong engine.
That's good. Alice, I'm sorry I was horrible to you when you first arrived. It was uncalled for and just despicable.
That's all right, Erlestoke, and I accept your apology.
And I'm sorry I was stubborn to you yesterday, Dom. You were right. My strength did get this job done, and it was a plus for me.
That's alright, Erlestoke. I hope we're okay now.
Oh, yes, indeed we are.
Looks like you have turned a new leaf. I think we can all see a new change in you.
I feel like a new engine. I promise from now on, I will be a better engine to all of you little ones.
Including me?
Well, technically you weren't here to see any of this, and you never met Erlestoke prior. But you are a little engine too, so yes, you are included.
Yes! I knew you secretly liked me, Pav.
Don't get used to it.
Thank you so much for your help today, Erlestoke. I will tell your owners all about your day's work and about how surprising you have been. I think you'll be back to pulling rail tours first thing in the morning.
No problem, sir. But if you don't mind me asking, is it alright if I can come back here again one day? If you need any help, that is.
Oh, my. You do sound like a different engine. I shall speak to Shedmaster and see what he says.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you all again soon.
And Erlestoke puffed away to a chorus of cheers and whistles. On her way home, Erlestoke thought about the day's events. She had to admit that pulling trucks wasn't as bad as she first thought. And Erlestoke Manor of home. A better and wiser engine indeed.
Oh my goodness!
What's wrong, Erlestoke?
All that time I was helping with the coal delivery, I forgot to ask Dom something. And all of a sudden, I seem to have forgotten what it was too.
Oh, I'm sure whatever it is, he'll come back to you. You can ask him next time we're up at Applebury.
I suppose I can. I just hope whatever it was comes back to me soon. I've got a sneaking suspicion it has something to do with that scandal that was going on years ago.